All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Argos Road, House Scorpio, and you're tuned in to G.R.D. And my necklace is caught around the MIC. It's been a minute, been a little busy. Things are picking up with the training, and of course, the new employment that I'm about to be in. 3 jobs, man. The energy for all that, it's gonna be a blessing these next 5 years, just to maintain. Oh, above all else, just health. Maintain health. So with that being said, let's get into it. I found that article. I found it. The real one this time. I found it. I know I talked about it last time and the time before that, but I actually found it. It was in my Twitter feed. And well, I bookmarked it luckily. And before this podcast is over, I will be talking about it, or at least posting a link about it. It's unless you're really into anthropology, geology, and well, fossils really, it might not really stir your interest. But you know what? I'm gonna pop the roof a little bit, let some of this air out. Nice day today. It did not go above 86 degrees in my area, so that was nice. But anyways, let's get into it and take these keys off the rings. Stop rattling. There we go. I just want to know how y'all doing. I know I haven't really posted, for those who are actually keeping track, I haven't posted, I think, the last 24 hours. But that's okay. That's part of the whole experiment. This guy in the truck literally just cut me off. So I had to cut off the dude in the Kia, or chick, whatever it is. Who knows these days? But the song is 85% done. I just need to play it. What else? I played it on my car. I played it on. What else did I play it on? I think I did 4 things. I said I wanted to do 4 things. I wanted it on a home theater. I wanted it on a car stereo, mobile. Oh, headphones. Yeah, I gotta do it with the headphones. It's one thing to create it when you have headphones on. I'm just using GarageBand. I could have used Logic, but like I said, I'm trying to keep it, I don't want to say in-house, but I want to keep it consolidated. That's the word I'm looking for, consolidated. I'm doing everything either on my iPad or my iPhone. Okay, and this chick in the Kia, she gonna catch the brake light check if she don't back the fuck up off me. I don't play that shit. You can chill out. You're part of the rat race. And that's part of the thing I want to talk about today, fucking the rat race. Yeah, I'm kind of jumping back into it, but at the same time, hey man, I know what it is. It's not like I'm going there blind. So I have my plan I want to stick to. I know what I want to go. Yeah, I know how far I want to go with it. And I say 5 years, 3 jobs, 2 of them are salary based. And the third one is just like a part-time, like little warehouse gig. I mean, yeah, you'd be tired, but like I said, I want to be done by 35. I want to be done working. I want to have my first property, my everything, but that's going to give me the return on investment for later on. Because people, if you were born from the 90s, you know you ain't really getting no Social Security. You know that, right? You had to been planning or building something. Like I said, I started off doing video editing. I got a little far with that, and now I'm doing this. I'm getting into the philosophy of things. Like I've already edited together people's thoughts and dreams, and I'll still help them with that. I'm not knocking it, but I already did that. Now it's time to start working on my own. I got the skills, I got the tools, and the experience. And I'm gonna close the roof because this might be getting picked up. turning on just the vent. By the way, in the Subaru, truck's still down for the moment. So hopefully it's a little bit quieter in here. But yeah, I was watching The Inspirational Nomad. I watched a couple of videos of KRS-One talking about the rat race and understanding who we are as a species and what we're meant to do. And no, we're not meant to work all of our lives like that. We are creative individuals if you choose to tap into that God-given gift. As I stated before, I believe in God. You know, I just don't really believe in the dogmas because they're all corrupted for the most part. You can find solace in it, sure, but that's just not how I see it, folks. It's corrupted as all get out. But anyways, I'm digressing. Yeah, man, it's like I gotta attribute a lot of this knowledge and blessings that have been bestowed upon me to the higher power, man, because it was definitely some sticky situations in the past where it was just like, oh boy, like time's almost drowned. And when I got blown up, it's just like, you know, I got brought through that. I don't know what that was, why that experience happened, but it did. But I'm digressing. I want to get back into the whole rat race thing because it's like listening to the Inspirational Nomad and KRS-One today. It's like, you know, I shouldn't be ashamed of the perspective. Like, if you're working a job, you know, something that's not evil in the sense of the word, but if you're working a job, there should be no shame in that. But I recently had that fog about me when I started doing freelance. Like when I got out the service, I was just like, yeah, I'm not gonna fucking work for nobody. Fuck that. Fuck the man. Blah, blah, blah. You know, that whole rhetoric. It got old. I mean, it got my driver going, put it that way. It inspired me to get out there and figure it out for myself. And I did. Like I said, but I also realized that freelancing, there will be times where, you know, you get cashed out really nice and you'll be sitting for a while really nice. But then the flip side of that, which is, you know, the side that's not really talked about often, is a lot of the downtime. Like if that, like for the most part, that was my main source of income. Like if I didn't work or get an editing job or filming something, bro, I was not eating. I was not paying bills. Stuff was just getting cut out left and right. Like in a sense, it's a positive and it's a negative cycle, because even though I had to cut some stuff off, I started embracing the minimalist lifestyle, really figuring out what's important. Like for me, a vehicle is important, having a running vehicle so I can get to point A to point B, whether it be for gainful employment or freelancing. Bet, okay, that's important. Cell phone, obviously it's a tracking device, but at the same time, you know, my conspiracy-minded friends out there, but it's also a source of generating revenue for yourself and a point of contact. You don't have to be tethered down to like a library for internet access or stuck at home. Mobile data, you know, you're on the move. So there's an upside. That's a necessity for me. And then once I looked at that, you know, of course, like the insurances that come with the phones and cars, you know, fine, whatever. Outside of those regular bills, it's like, okay, well, freelancing was working. But now that I realized that even that's not a retirement plan, that's more of freelancing became a hobby, if you will. It's like that was my creative side coming out, and it was taking control. It did what it needed to do, and it got me to where I needed to be. But now it's like, okay, I need a greater sense of cash flow. So I'm like, okay, yeah, the rat race is bullshit. It really is. Like, no doubt. Even with these new employment opportunities I have, this is bullshit. But it will take care of some of the other bullshit that I need in order to get to the next stage of life. So I guess what I'm admitting to myself is that a 9-to-5 or the banker's hours or whatever they call it these days, I really don't know. That's why I said the interviews I had were fucking awkward as fuck. They asked me how much was I expected to get paid. I said, I don't fucking know, because I've had jobs where and I know what the minimum wage is now and whatever they were going to offer me for the salary positions. It's like, well, I made way more than that in a single day, let alone waiting 2 weeks to get paid out. You know what I'm saying? So that was awkward in itself. So it's like, whatever terminology you call it, just having that rat race job where you show up, you clock in, clock out, get your check, and go home. It's bullshit, but hey, I know I'm not going to live the materialistic lifestyle. I know I have my game plan as far as what I want to do so I can have a retirement, so I can just sit on a beach. Or, I'm not really, I like the beach, but I'm more of a mountainous, desert type of person. So where I can kick back and sit out in a dune and just chill, or do my little geology thing. Hey, all right, these are the things I have to do. From now, like I said, I'm gonna work my ass off to age 35, like just grind it out, like an RPG. Really, it's gonna be like an RPG. Yeah, there's gonna be ups and downs. Things are gonna come up. Things are not gonna come up. Then there's the neutral side of it, like nothing happens at all. But for the most part, it's that grind. Find that place where I want to call, what the Nomad guy was talking about, is like basically have a place where you call base camp. And then, enjoy your life. Do whatever you want to do. Have that always appreciating asset in the back pocket. Now, granted, that plan is not going to be for everybody. You have to know what you really want. And it took me a while. It took me up into this point today, speaking to you, making this podcast, to know what I want and know what I'm gonna shoot for. To have a real goal, like the goal of recording every day. And I know I'm gonna sound like a hypocrite, but I did record those 2 days I didn't post, and I might just post them. I don't know yet, because as again, it's part of the experiment of what happens when you don't read the horoscope, what happens when you do read the horoscope at the beginning of the day, and when you read it at the end of the day. So that's all part of it. And I think now it's actually quite balanced, because I know I'm getting off on topic, just bear with me. I think it's balanced now, because for the days that I did reading at the beginning of the day, they've caught up with the days that I read it at the end of the day. And then now I have at least 3 days. I have to go back and check the logs at the end of all this, of course. But now I'm at 3 days at least of not reading any horoscope, posting any podcast, even though I did record some. Like I said, that's still a debate whether I'm going to upload it or not, because like I said, it will be altered. At least the purview will be altered once I go back and look at those days of the horoscope. But anyways, I think it's now balanced, and I feel balanced now. I feel just doing this podcast today, recording, I feel the balance. It's coming back and shifted back into favor, or whatever. I don't know the word, if there even is a word. Maybe I have to make one up, since all languages are made up anyway. But we're not going to do that. There's a greater conversation to be had at a different time. And damn it, I left my garage door opener in the truck. Anyways, I'm probably just gonna pull over here and read the horoscope for the end of the day and see what it says. But yeah, I'm inspired. All pun intended. All jokes aside, even though I was listening to KRS-One Inspiration Nomad, I have been somewhat inspired to let me know, like, hey, you know what? My goals are my goals. I got one shot around this earth, this galaxy, this sun, not in that order. And I'm just gonna start making the most of it. I'm gonna keep focusing on the goal, man, and not be downtrodden by, like, yeah, I'm still freelancing, but I'm not freelancing as much. It was fun. I did it. I can say I did it, and I still am doing it. But now it's time to have some hard assets now, as far as so I can enjoy the end game when it gets to that point, Lord willing, I get there. So first things first, before I do the horoscope, let me go ahead and get you guys and gals the not YouTube link, damn it, the Twitter link, the Twitter thing. See here, okay, go here, bookmarks. Come on, bookmarks. Sorry, it's loading up. I just turned on airplane mode and I forgot it has to queue up my bookmarks. Okay, here we go. Bookmarks, scrolling down. Oh yes, severed head of giant 40,000-year-old wolf discovered in Russia from livescience.com. And like I said, I'll post a link in the description. And here's a screenshot. Let me go ahead and screenshot that real quick, and then put back on airplane mode real quick. There we go. Nah, damn it, I gotta turn off airplane mode again because I gotta get the horoscope. Crap. So, anyways, you guys can read that. I'm not gonna read it; it's too long. But I found it fascinating. It's a giant wolf. I think what were they called? Dire wolves? In like a lot of fantasy novels, they call it dire wolves, where they're like massive, massive sized wolves that exist. Anyway, it's a well preserved head too. It's kind of crazy. Anyways, let's go to astrology.com, our buddy for this trial of podcasting and horoscoping for 30 days. There's no reason for you to take anything too seriously right now, so lighten up. Oh boy. Every argument has two sides, and you should accept the fact that everyone has his or her own perspective on things. There isn't always only one right answer. If you take another look at complicated situations right now, you'll be able to separate the good parts from the bad easily and adjust your opinion to make more people or to take more people into account. Does that resonate with today's, since I started talking about the video? One more time. This time with feeling. There is no reason for you to take anything too seriously right now. So lighten up. Every argument has two sides. And you should accept the fact that everyone has his or her own perspective on things. There isn't always only one right answer. If you take another look at complicated situations right now, you'll be able to separate the good parts from the bad easily and adjust your opinion to make more people, I still messed up, to take more people into account. Okay, I'm feeling that. Because listening back to what KRS-One was saying in Inspirational Nomad, you're right. You got to just have your goal and have your perspective. It's not right or it's not wrong. There's no guidebook to this. However, there is testing, at least in my purview, and that's my perspective. You should be able to test these things like the horoscope. These things can be completely asinine, and I can finally have an understanding of why mainstream science has written it off. Or the opposite happens, and like this should be taken into account because this is dealing with intrinsic parts of people's lives. At the end of this, I'll find out. So let's go to finance, shall we? Research is mandatory, but doing it in a planned, well thought out way is key. Going about it willy-nilly won't get you the information you need. Do it right, though, and you will unearth some surprising and profitable secrets. Now that I'm feeling hardcore today, because before I end this, let me go ahead and break this down. So I was talking about the employment thing, right? Let me put this on airplane mode so no one calls me. I hate to lose this data right now. I was talking about the employment thing, right? And I was looking at what it means to trade your hours for money. The commodity that no one or nothing can give back to you, time. The commodity is time. No one can give that back to you or grant you more. It's just you have a set amount. You never know when it is, when it ends. It's just that. To trade one's time for material gains seems ridiculous, really. However, you have to define what material gains are not ridiculous. What I mean by that is like a house. Yes, you can live in a car. Yes, you can live in a van. You can live in an RV. Like some of these nomads are doing on YouTube that I've been watching. And that lifestyle seems appealing to me. It does. Especially being a freelancer. However, there's caveats to everything. And when I unearthed this, like, I'm using that word since I just read it. What I discovered was that even living the life nomadic is very problematic in this current time. Why? A lot of privatized land, harassment from law enforcement, not having funds to, what are they called? I think they're called just RV parks, you know. And what I did realize is that you can sleep and camp in BLM lands. For those who don't, excuse me, it got cold. Shit, it got cold. Oh, sorry, that cold draft just hit me, man. You can live in BLM lands, but the thing is, oh yeah, I was going to explain what BLM is. It's not Black Lives Matter. It's Bureau of Land Management, which is federal lands like national parks and things of that nature. You can stay in there. Taxpayers pay for that, you know, well, to keep the maintenance and all that stuff. So looking at that, it's like looking at how far you are from civilization, and given the scope of what my work entails, especially when it comes to editing, unless I go pick up the footage from someone, I use the cloud. But you got to think about service. Oh man, the nomadic life is nice if you have a surplus of income. I'm just gonna leave it at that because I don't want to get too in depth with it because I don't want to give any misinformation. I've done my own personal research on the matter. It's still an appealing thing to me, but I would need some serious um, reformatting of my life. And although I'm all for that, it's just what would need to transpire. I would need to still do my set goal, what is already in place now. And that's me being single or married if that happens, or just having a significant other. It's I still will need those 5 years to just build. So yeah, I'm gonna end it there. Um, you've been tuned in to G.R.D. This episode's not very enlightening, or enlightening, or maybe it was. It's all about the perspective, right? But yeah, like I said, I'll be back tomorrow, and with something different. I know I gotta go back. Let's see where I gotta be tomorrow. Oh yeah, the freaking fence and the stump. So yeah, I'm taking care of that at my mom's place. Um, yeah, that's the only thing on the list tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. And just I there's one more thing that's bugging me that I haven't let loose, and I'll say it. Scorpios, my fellow Scorpios, if you're like this fixed, I think I'm fixed water sign, and I think I'm sun. If not, I have to double check. I think I'm sun sign. I literally have to learn to relax. I so quick to anger. Even in this recording, when the truck cut me off, the big rig, it wasn't like a half ton run. It was the big rig with the trailer, you know. And then the lady tailgating me, I was about to brake check her and like not give a fuck. Like we can scrap right here, bro. I have to learn how to relax and not let my own mind destroy me. And that's tough, dude. Like, it feels like we should switch gears hardcore in this conversation before I ended it. But it's true, man. I'm so rigid to the point where I've kind of been hurting myself. If I hurt myself, I don't mean physically, I mean just with opportunities. The overthinking plus the inability to just chill out. I don't know if that's because of the military, like I'm constantly anxious or with anxiety, and maybe that is just it. But I gotta learn how to relax, man. That's just been on my mind. And this podcast, this venting of this one soul onto the digital medium is gonna help me with that. I didn't bring it up earlier because I really wanted to keep this purely scientific, but this is me, man. I gotta learn how to chill out for real. Stress. I mean, I do good in stressful situations, don't get me wrong, but I don't know how to turn it off. And I know it's sounding like a pity party if you say, I don't think I can ever turn it off. I know I can. I know there's a way to turn off, but I have not found it yet. And it's like a weird self perpetuating cycle. Like I want to chill out, know how to chill out. And that means, not drinking or smoking something like most people resort to. Okay, mosquitoes are out. Let me close the sunroof real quick. I'm not trying to get ate up right now. Um. Anyways, yeah, I don't want to resort to that. I've seen people do that, especially when they come out to service with jobs, with debt, and all this stuff. It's like none of this shit is permanent, bro. It really isn't. It's all temporary. But learning how to stay balanced, like today felt balanced. Even now, as I'm bitching, I'm finding some balance in it. And I even feel my body relaxing. I feel it in my core. You could probably even hear it in my voice that I'm not on edge. I used to think it was the vehicles I drove, the people. Well, actually, it might be some of the people, but overall, I can't pass the blame on 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 those external factors all the time. And yes, there will be external factors that cause anxiety and stress and not be able to chill out, but they shouldn't have that much of a control over me. The inner God should be able to control that narrative and control the control of self. And Scorpios, I know the other signs understand about the control mechanism. They don't, but y'all know, and that's why this experiment overall is. I think it's going to be fruitful. I feel it's going to be fruitful. Some of this astronomy, astrology shit is not. It's not for nothing. Now I know some of it can make you feel good about yourself. Maybe the confirmation bias will be there. I don't know if it will be. At the end, I have to wait till these 30 days are up and then just put on a chart and then measure it scientifically if it came out like factually, like how often everything lined up. And then I have to look at it emotionally. How did reading these horoscopes make me feel? How did reading them at the start of my day pan out? How did reading it at the end of the day? How did not reading it at all and just have an empty thought? Those are the top three drivers of this experiment. So, also, um, I'm gonna keep the title. It's still gonna be G.R.D. all day. It's still gonna be G.R.D. But I'm gonna start taking off the House Scorpio banner. It's just gonna be G.R.D. log, uh, whatever number this one is, from here on out. Same concept. Like I said, just shortening the titles of all this stuff. So, you have been listening to the ramblings of Argo Shiro, House Scorpio. This is GRD. Growth, research, and development for yourself. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave with that. No more of the extra shit. Just growth, research, and develop. G.R.D. All right, y'all. Stay safe out there. Peace.